Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer 40,000 video for you, and today we're going to be looking at the Dark Angels Combat Patrol box and see how we can use it to start up a Dark Angels force for Warhammer 40,000. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to take a look at all the units inside the box, what exactly we get from them, what we can use them for, and how they sort of work on the table. And then we'll look at some units we can use to expand this force into a fully fledged army of, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 points later down the line. Lastly, at the end of the video, we're going to give you a little sample army list, 750 points in size, great for getting started with for Warhammer 40,000, and you can use this list to either just straight up copy it and use it in your games, or use it as a little bit of inspiration to sort of see how you want to go with your own Dark Angels list. And so, for starters, let's talk about what exactly is inside this box set. And so, for starters, we've got the Dark Angels Primaris Chaplain. Primaris Chaplains are pretty cool. First of all, they're a chaplain, so they're your priest. They're going to get to chant all your litanies and give you a variety of different access to different buffs throughout your army. What's really cool with Dark Angels is they can actually choose to make a chaplain a Master of Sanctity, which gives them access to some additional abilities. Namely, they get to cast an extra prayer. If there's not been one cast of that sort in the same turn, they also get access to another prayer on their own profile as well. Now, he's got some decent abilities. He's got the spiritual leaders where model core units around him are going to be able to use his leadership. He's got an invulnerable save of 4 up built in. And he's got his Absolver bolt pistol, strength 5, -1, damage 2. Pretty nice for a little pistol there. And yeah, he's a priest. Same sort of stat line you would expect out of any Space Marine hero of this sort of ilk. 3 up save, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength and toughness 4, 5 wounds. All that sort of stuff you would expect. He's a solid start for a Dark Angels army. Like, chaplains in Dark Angels, narratively, it just goes all perfect. They're hunting down the fallen and their traitorous brethren. And then we look at the troop unit we get in this. We get a box set of 5 intercessors that does come with the ability to potentially arm them with like power swords and stuff, thanks to the upgrade sprues we're going to get in this box from the Dark Angels. Intercessors are just a great all-round troops choice. They've got access to some decent range firepower with their bolt rifle variations you can have, and really this is all up to you. I do find that intercessors with Dark Angels, due to what we can bring in with Dark Angels in the Ravenwing and Deathwing, work well as a great fire support unit in Dark Angels more so than anything else. So definitely long range, sitting on your backfield objectives, providing fire support for your Terminators and your bikes to get into the combats and get into the thick of things where they want to be. The next unit we've got is we have the Inceptors. They're a fantastic fire support unit as well. Unlike your intercessors, who are going to be providing more longer range to mid-range support, the Inceptors work well hanging around the flanks of your other units. You can have your bikes and all that getting into combat along with your Deathwing Knights and all that sort of stuff. But the Inceptors can be around providing fire support, making sure that your big units for combat don't get overwhelmed and don't get bogged down or dragged down in combats, providing some much needed fire support with their good shooting profiles. Lastly in this, we get a Redemptor Dreadnought. Space Marine Dreadnoughts are just pretty solid. You can pack out a decent amount of firepower for a singular model. He's also no slouch in combat with that giant power fist of his. What's cool, he can become a member of the Deathwing in different ways. You can upgrade Dreadnoughts. This gives him access to a couple of different abilities as well. But mostly, he's just going to provide some great fire support as well as a really good anti-tank unit as well in close combat. For me, it's not a Dark Angels Dreadnought if it doesn't have plasma. Dark Angels are all about plasma weaponry, or at least their narrative is they love using plasma weaponry. So for me, I really like here that in the picture we've got from Games Workshop that they've used the plasma incinerator here, because that is definitely the weapon I'm going to go with when I build a Dark Angels army. And so we've got other units. What can we bring in? First of all, I reckon a captain is a fantastic addition to any Space Marine army. But probably when you're going with Dark Angels, I do recommend you either grabbing a captain in Terminator armor, because that way he becomes a Deathwing member, or you grab a captain on a bike as a Ravenwing member, and you sort of apply them to your units as you see fit. Obviously, if he's got the Terminator, he's going to be working alongside your Deathwing Knights and other Terminator and Deathwing units, things like Blade Guard Veterans, etc. And then if he's on the bike, he's going to be working with your Outriders, your your Ravenwing Knights, and all of that. So for me, they just provide some good rerolls, which is really nice, and just give you that little bit of a tanky combat hero as well in Terminator armor. Deathwing Knights is definitely a unit I strongly recommend picking up. They've got some really cool abilities. First of all, they've all got Storm Shields. They're like cool combat Terminators with the Thunderhammer and Storm Shield, but they're on their own little profile. So they have the... So what do they have instead? They don't have Thunderhammers. They've got their own Maces of Absolution instead, which are pretty cool. And then the leader here, the Deathwing Knight Master, he has the Flail of the Unforgiven. So first of all, Mace of Absolution is a ×2 strength, -2, damage 3 weapon, while the Flail of the Unforgiven is +2 strength, -3 AP, damage 2. But excess damage from this weapon is not lost. Instead, keep allocating damage to another model if the target is slain. So pretty cool, sort of spills over its damage. You've then got the Watcher in the Dark, which you can equip to the unit for a nice little 5 points. I really like it, the ability to deny the witch as if the unit were a sucker. It's a really solid little upgrade you can take for the unit. Of course, they're Deathwing, so they get all the associated benefits with being Deathwing, which is really nice. But for me, they're just absolutely stunning models and really exemplify everything Dark Angel about it. Next, we have, as mentioned, you've got the other sort of side of the Dark Angels Elite, where you've got the Deathwing, which are your Terminators, you've got the Ravenwing, which are your bikes, your Invader ATVs, and all of that, your Land Speeders, and even your aircraft as well. Outrider Squads are a great Primaris unit to bring in. They've got some good stats, some good shooting power, combat potential, and Invader ATVs provide you with some heavy Ravenwing support with the heavier weapons for them. There's a ton of different things you could pick here for your Ravenwing. You've got things like the Dark Shroud and the other cool Dark Angel specific Land Speeders and Flyers in there. You've also got obviously the generic sort of Ravenwing Knights and all of that, which are cool bike models. So you've just got this ton of different options for how you're going to play with like Ravenwing and Deathwing. And I really do think the best thing about Dark Angels is playing that sort of mixed list. Though you do have the option with Dark Angels if you want to sort of go down one specific path. You're playing like heavy Deathwing, heavy Ravenwing, or even just heavy, I guess, Greenwing, as we could call it, the non sort of elite part of the army. They've definitely got some cool rules to play around with. For me, though, Dark Angels is all about combining all three parts of the army to make something better than the sum of its parts. Having Deathwing to do this, Ravenwing to do that, and Greenwing to do the rest is a really interesting sort of way to play that not a lot of Space Marine chapters really get. And so here we have a little sample army list for the Dark Angels. 750 points. We're going to be in a singular patrol detachment. This is a really good sort of detachment. It only requires 1 troop, 1 HQ, and you get a few other options within it. So it's really good for using your starting armies with. It's a really great detachment for this sort of point size game. Really good to learn exactly what you're doing with. It'll cost you 2 CP, but you'll get those CP back as long as your Warlord is part of that. So really easy to sort of make work. Now, we're going to be trying to bring a couple of the Dark Angels aspects together here in this list because you can fit in an extra box set alongside our initial Combat Patrol box set in this set. So we've got our Primaris Chaplain, and we're going to take Master of Sanctity because I think the extra ability to get some more litanies out of him is really useful. Just to do more chanting with his prayers is really useful and can give us some more options. You've definitely got a ton of options there in what this Dark Angels Chaplain can pick. We've then got our Intercessor Squad, who's going to be the 5-man. We're not going to put any upgrades on them, though. You could easily fiddle around with some things in here. You drop Master of Sanctity and put like some upgrades on your Sergeant in this squad quite easily. Or indeed, change your Redemptor Dreadnought, having maybe the Icarus Rocket Pod and get some extra bits and pieces on the Intercessor Squad here. But for Intercessors with a Sergeant is really solid. It's just going to provide some great fire support for the rest of our force. We've then got the Deathwing Knight Squad, so this is a squad we're bringing in alongside the rest of the units inside the box set. Deathwing Knight Squad is going to have that Knightmaster Deathwing Knights that can provide a great sort of heavy hitting punchy unit that's also got a fantastic amount of staying power. The great thing with the Deathwing Knights is you're going to get some extra rules here. So we're going to get the first company rules, which is really cool, and we're going to get the access to that. So a big thing we get with the Deathwing Knights is when we've got the Assault Doctrine active in our army, each time a Deathwing Infantry or Deathwing Dreadnought model from our army makes a melee attack against a character unit or a unit that contains any models with wounds characteristic of 8 or more, you can re-roll the wound roll. So this is going to be fantastic at taking out heavy hitting targets and enemy characters. We then got our Redemptor Dreadnought, and like I said, you could easily swap out that Primaris Chaplain's Master of Sanctity and make this Dreadnought a Deathwing model as well, and then you probably got some spare points on those Intercessors if that's something you want to do. But we've gone for the Icarus rocket pod and the macro plasma incinerator on him, along with the heavy flame and fragstorm grenade launchers. He's just going to be great at sort of anti-infantry, anti-heavy infantry with the weapon loadout we've got on him here. And also can take out a couple of light vehicles as well. Lastly, fast attack, we've got our Inceptor squad, just a great sort of supporting unit that's going to be great going up and providing fire support for our Deathwing Knights and Redemptor Dreadnought if they get out of range of the intercessors and are no longer in the sort of midfield where we can affect them with our intercessor squad. Well, this would just be a great place to start with your Dark Angels. You've got a bit of everything. You can play with a few different tactics around, and you could easily swap out those Deathwing Knights for, say, some Ravenwing models if you want to as well, to sort of play a different way. But I do think the Deathwing Knight squad definitely provides you with a fantastic unit here to start off your Dark Angels army. If you've been playing with Dark Angels in the new edition of Warhammer 40k, or indeed the current edition of Warhammer 40k, let us know how you're going and what you've been doing and how you would use this box set to start up your force. And so that's the end of the video. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by following the link in the video's description to our Discord server. Lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so by either Patreon or YouTube members, or going and purchasing some merch from Teespring, on which you'll find all the links for Patreon, YouTube members and Teespring in the description of the video as well. Lastly, we'd like to give a shout out to all our patrons and YouTube members who help support the channel. It's amazing what you do, and it really helps us get more and more stuff out for the channel. So thank you to our patrons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Chaos Spawn, AJC, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Cure Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Dynet226, Anton Nielsen, JJ Austrian, and Average Wargamer. And a special shout out to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Steve T, The Real Zeop, Chris Wallace, Turai12, Vinny, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, and Revan R. Lastly, a special shout out first of all to Lady Witchfox Art for doing all the amazing artwork for the channel you can see here, and to Xmorphic as well for doing an amazing job doing all the background work on our Discord server. Thank you to everyone once again for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, comment below. Thank you all. Stay safe everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.